Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the DAX this morning? Now, the DAX is quite interesting. Just to start off with, the futures market on the DAX is up 0.3% at the moment, so sitting at 11,600 and pretty close to where we closed. We did close at 11,600 here. There was a bit of a sell-off on the US markets going into the close. So, for me at the moment, we're still in this consolidation pattern here. Now, the question on my mind is whether this is a consolidation for a second leg down. Okay, so second leg down before we start looking for the Christmas rally, or alternatively, we are testing this week. Well, we have not testing it yet, but we could very well be testing this weekly head and shoulders. Okay, now something that I didn't point out yesterday on the weekly, which I saw here, is we have this wedge, and we've now broken to the downside. Now, normally when that happens, you can see it's actually a broader channel. But normally when this happens, either it comes up, it tests this break, and then we continue. Then we get a measured move, which is almost the head and shoulders target. But we'll get a measured move the height of this wedge to the downside. But for now, this is just an overthrow. In other words, it has broken below the wedge it was forming. And sometimes what you see is a buyer step in and they push it back into the wedge, a little bit of a move down, and then a break to the upside. Okay. That's the more common pattern that plays out. Although we can get a failed wedge break. So, well, not a failed wedge break, but a failed wedge pattern by continuing to move to the downside. So it does happen. But more often than not, we get a reversal off this back into the wedge, and then we either continue doing it and move to the downside, or we move to the upside. So that's just something that I picked up yesterday. We didn't actually have a look at. So what are we doing today? So for now, we are still sort of in a pretty broad consolidation phase. Okay, you can see the last 3 days have really been consolidation. Yesterday was a pretty strong move off the bottom. And I just want to get to the 4 hour to show you what I mean. So we've got this inside bar here. That's my first bullish signal. Then we had this pretty big green candle here, which is my second bullish signal. And you can see how we just came off the moving average here. Okay. So what I'm looking for at the moment is I'm looking for a crossover these moving averages. There's a couple of things that are concerning me, and the one thing is this continuation divergence. In other words, there's a high, higher high, there's a high, lower high. Okay, so that is an indication that there is continuation divergence to the downside. So this is starting to look like we're still going to move to the downside. Looking at the question is where we're going to move to. Are we going to come bounce off this level here, or are we going to come and attack the next level? The key thing to bear in mind here is that we do have higher low. So there's a low, there's a higher low. Okay, and if we just pick up, okay, there was divergence here. We did move to the upside. There's no other diversion to worry about. So the only diversions that we do have here is continuation diversions. And it extends back from this level here. So we've got high, lower high, lower high. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of 50-50 for me, because there is an indication we've got to move to the downside. I'm still of the opinion that I'm looking for longs. And this is starting to look like a consolidation phase. So let's just get rid of that. This is just look at the range. Get rid of. So I just want to get rid of all the noise so we can just focus on one thing at a time. Okay, so just coming back to the hour, this is a range to me. Okay, yes, we are at the top of the range. We're near the top of the range at the moment. But on the hour, you can see we have created So there's a lower fractal, which was a test of the break, and we've broken through these two previous fractals. Okay, so the trick for me to see what happens during the European Open, and we will play it from there. Right now, we do have a wedge. Okay, so I would expect us to pull back. And the trick is, how far are we going to pull back? Are we going to come down all the way to the bottom? Or are we just going to pull back to a higher low? If we do pull back to a higher low, that would give me some confidence that we could potentially be looking at a consolidation with a break to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of the take that I have at the moment. I just want to pop down the 12 minutes here. Now, if you've got time, it's probably the 12 or 15 minute is what you want to watch. And you can see how we sort of consolidated for a bit, and then we started moving to the upside. So the 200 moving average on the 12 is playing a role at the moment. So yeah, jury's out. For me, it's still there's nothing concrete. So I'm still of the opinion that I'm buying, but obviously not from the top. We're looking for a pullback, and I have a feeling we're going to get some kind of a move to the downside, and we're going to find some support somewhere along the line, whether it's sort of halfway down, in other words, at the wedge break target. So if this breaks the downside, somewhere down at 11,500 before we move to the upside. Okay, oscillators are grouping at the top, so that does just give me the warning that we will be moving to the downside. Whether it's just a consolidation or not, is totally irrelevant. The fact is we will move, and you're looking for an opportunity to buy lower down. Now, if we do break below the low of yesterday, then you have a scenario that's going to boil that indicates some more that we should start looking for a break of this range to the downside. Okay, so right now for me, it's very much 50-50. And I'm going to wait for some form of moves to the downside off the top of this range and see if we get any kind of signals like we've got here. There's a bullish signal, bullish pattern there. So if we can get that off the bottom of the range, I'll be back in buying this. Okay, but for now, I think it's sit on my hands to wait to see how this plays out. I am looking for a swing trade to the upside, and I'm quite willing to wait a week if I have to. So right now, patience is key. Just waiting to see the right setup, make sure that you're in the right place at the right time, and get in for a decent swing trade move. Okay, so that's me for now on the DAX. It's sit on hands, wait to see what happens. If we do come to the bottom here and start forming some bullish patterns on the hour or even the half hour, and our oscillators are grouping to the downside, I'll take a stab at another long. But then obviously I'll be looking to take profit at the top of the range until we break this range. And remember, I've got two levels in the range. I deleted the line, but there's the first top of the range, and that's my second level on the range, which is basically the high of yesterday. Okay, so that's me for today. Wait and see on the DAX, and hope you have some great day trading, and enjoy your day. I'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.